Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Foundation, Howard Grant. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to jam with you on this beautiful Friday evening. Bim! Warm and easy. Selector 89.5 FM. Foundation Radio. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to jam with you. If you are interested in jamming with us today and being able to dive into what we're doing, I'd love you to give me a call. The numbers today, you can call 827-0111, 827-0111. We are here live and in full effect, being able to jam with you on the Foundation. Another day, another time, another dollar, as we continue to jam and talk about this. This weekend is Daddy's Day. Talk to me. Daddy's Day. And in the midst of being Daddy's Day, I don't know if y'all can take care of daddies the way that you're supposed to. We got to figure that thing out. So however we decide to be able to do that, make sure you do that and take care of your daddy. Going down there and buying myself a shirt myself. Because you don't know how people can take care of you. So you got to take care of you before. Talk to me. You got to make sure to take care of you. Daddies, if you're out there and you're being able to do these things, make sure you take care of yourself and see exactly what's what as we are out here making some things happen. You want to check out some stuff now. You want to be able to check out some stuff and get some things going, all right? You want to be able to check out some places that you can be able to go and make some things happen, all right? And this weekend, I want you guys to be able to join me. I'm going to be able to kind of break bread in the morning with my good guys over there at Garden of Eden. I don't know where y'all go to get your stew fish and grits and Johnny cake and boiled stew. I don't know where you go to get your things, right? So wherever you go, make sure that it's good and decent. I don't know if you ain't satisfied. Talk to me with what is being put out there. You want to be able to go and check something else? I'd like to be able to introduce you to my guys over at Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden, my guy Ephraim Jones is located right off of Prince Charles. When you head up to Prince Charles, when you get to Elizabeth Police Station, right there on the left-hand side, you're going to see Eastwood, right? So when you go to Eastwood, you go up 4 speed bumps. To the left-hand side is going to be Tulip. So you're going to take Tulip, which is going to be the left. Go up Tulip, take another left, go around the corner. It's a 2-story blue and white building. It's called Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden is absolutely excellent, man. I always go there, always being able to do that. Mr. Jones has been phenomenal as it relates to what he has done, how he's been able to take care of us and whatnot in terms of accommodation. It is a beautiful, beautiful environment, and I got to be able to commend him for being able to keep the environment like that. It is a wonderful space to kind of go and check it out. So you want to be able to go there and check him out, all right? It's Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden is located, like I said to you, right there on Prince Charles Highway. Go there and check them guys out at Garden of Eden. They got my good guys, man. You want to be able to check them out and do that. Garden of Eden. Also, I keep trying to tell you about Coco Plum Wellness. Coco Plum Wellness. They're now located in the One West Plaza, just as you headed out west past the airport. Continue to be able to head west. You're going to be able to see that before you get to the gas station and to the Fresh Market. You're going to be able to see on the right-hand side, the One West Plaza. It's where they had that steakhouse that you know so much, the infamous steakhouse that you would have seen and read about so much, right? I don't know if they're still there, right? But that's there, and in that kind of a plaza right there. I think they also have something from Grand Bahama with the Port Authority right there. But it's in that plaza I think it's on the top floor. It's called Coco Plum Wellness. Coco Plum Wellness talks to you about the hydrocolonics. The hydrocolonics is being able to put natural water into your colon, right? Not like pressure blasting the thing, but just being able to do that. And there is a bile that continues to be able to hold some old food to your stomach, to the walls of your intestine, right? Let's just be decent, right? There is a bile, a film that continues to be able to hold these old things to the walls of your intestine. And so how do we get rid of that? We got to be able to, it's not an invasive thing, but it is a deliberate attempt to be able to do this. And so they be able to take it out like that, right? Very gently, very easily. And as they take it out like that, you find yourself in this kind of a position. You can make some things happen. And you could see a tremendous change. Dr. Teresa Adley Smith will be more than happy to assist you with that. You can be able to hit her up. The number is 445-8111, 445-8111. Coco Plum Wellness. Coco Plum Wellness. And also, I got to be able to shout out my good, decent people over at Carpet World. Guys, beautiful carpet. I don't know if you're one of these people who are, and anything you're looking for, whether it's laminate floors, whether it's carpet, whether it's tile, you could be able to go over to Carpet World. They could be more than happy to assist you. Kyle Williams has been wonderful in terms of accommodation and really being able to assist a great deal of people. They're located on Blue Hill Road. You can go down there to Blue Hill Road. They can take very good care of you to make sure that you're in a good space and a good position to get your carpet. Now, you're tired of looking at this floor. You keep talking about these things. Go down there to Carpet World. Let them know that you've been sent by Foundation Radio. Howard said, come down here and look for Kyle. Kyle could be able to take very good care of you. Kyle Williams, he'd be more than happy to take care of you. Him or his father. There's a great deal of persons in there that can be able to assist you. They have great synergy. Their family vibe is very good. You want to be able to go and check that out and be able to look at those particular things. So I got to shout him out and shout out all those persons who are in that kind of a space and being able to do those things. So I'm grateful. And last but definitely not least, I got to be able to shout out my good, decent people over at Sell All. Sell All. That is Mr. and Mrs. Marshall. Right down there on, just before you get to right across the street from Cousin McPhee. Right across the street from Cousin McPhee. So you could be able to do that. So right across the street from Cousin McPhee, you could be able to do that, right? And I don't know if you've ever seen that, right? So when you go on Kamaica Road and you're headed west on Kamaica Road, when you go down this particular way, on the left-hand side, you can see a two-story building that's been built for a long while, being able to do some stuff. You could be able to see that, and that is Sell All Plaza. All right, so Mr. and Mrs. Marshall is there. Herbert Marshall, is it Herbert Hubert? Is it Herbert? Herbert Marshall, Mr. Marshall could be able to take very good care of you in that space and always accommodate you. I've done a number of lives from him from that location. He has phenomenal things, and he is truly a man of the community that can be able to assist you. So if you're looking for a nice television for Father's Day, if you're looking for, like a little electronics or a little, I don't know, a pressure cleaner or, a TV or a stereo or a laptop or Starlink or stove. You know what I mean? Whatever you need in that kind of a space and you want to be able to find those things out, go down there to my good friend, Mr. Marshall at Sell All, right? They also own the, I think, GameStop right there in the one in the Southwest Plaza. You can be able to go there and check those out. But Sell All is a space that I go to be able to get those things. I got to be able to say that to you. All my electronics in here, the television that you see in the background, all those particular things, they come from Sell All. Mr. Marshall has been very good in terms of accommodating us and taking good care of us in these particular spaces. So you want to go down there and check him out so he can be able to take very good care of you. It is Father's Day. Now, my good friend has not called me and said to me, he has not called and said to me, Howard, let's do a live for Father's Day. He always called for Mother's Day. Talk to me. I can't get an amen, Jesus. He always called for Mother's Day, but I don't know if fathers need the kind of rubbing down. Maybe it's a different type of rubbing down. Praise God. Maybe it's a different type of rubbing down that fathers need on Father's Day. But my good friend Vance McKenzie over at Baja Retreat and Spa. right? We always go down to Baja Retreat. We've always done things with that. He's always remained committed to doing things with us. Now, he ain't called me. He said, Howard, hurry up, get your station up so we could be able to do something. The station up? He ain't called me yet. Talk to me. I should call him now, right? Tell him the station up. 89.5 station up. You can hear it all around the place and doing these particular things. But if you want to get rubbed down, now, if you're looking for a happy ending, you need to go someplace else. You need to stop. If you're looking for a happy ending, let your wife do that, amen? Let your wife do that. But if you're looking for a nice, proper massage, if you want to be able to get that kind of a therapeutic thing done, if you're looking for this kind of a space that you can be taken care of like that, you want to be able to do that. Go tell him, turn it into 89.5 right now. 89.5 right now. Tell him tune in, right? Tell him talk about 89.5 right now. So go down there to Baja Retreat and Spa. He could be able to take very good care of you. The best in the business for all those fellas out there with scrubby foot, right? Now listen, one time ago your grandmother used to say things like, oh Jesus, your foot hard. Go down to the bay and scrub your foot on the rock and whatnot. Now, but this is an appropriate time for you to be able to get these things done, and you can be able to do it. Hold on. Mr. McKenzie, you're live on radio. You're live. The whole country could hear you. Say good afternoon to the people out there.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to the people out there. The Bahamian people are listening to you.
Good afternoon to all the Bahamian people listening.
Well, now listen to me. I told the people that every time it comes to Mother's Day, you want to take care of mothers, and you're in this position that you will make sure that mothers are taken care of. You make sure they get rubbed down and their foot is good. But these hard foot man who's tear the cover in the night, we don't hear nothing for Father's Day. What you got for daddies with the claw for feet?
Actually, they can go. There's something on the website under dad's packages that they can go to, and they can see what they have for fathers.
All right, what's your website?
www.baharetreat.com.
BajaRetreat.com. Now, I had to throw this blow for you because you're my guy and being able to do these things and make sure that you're out there doing some stuff. I tell him, you keep calling me and say, Howard, man, I want to do a live remote. I ready now. Praise God. We live in the air. You understand? So call me.
Oh, I didn't know.
Call me. So 89.5. Turn your car on, the radio on, right there.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Howard. I appreciate that, and I'm very happy for you.
Thank you, my brother. We can talk a little later on.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen, go down to Baja Retreat and be able to take that Vance McKenzie. He'll be able to take very good care of you. So these are my people who I go to. I never tell you to go anywhere that I wouldn't go myself. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people who tell you, yeah, these things are... No, right? So go down there. These are the people who I go to on a consistent basis. These are the people who take care of me. And these are the people who are good in these particular areas. Guys, if you want to be able to be a part of what we're doing, I'd love you to be able to give me a call, 827-0111, 827-0111. I don't know if Accrecio used to do some stuff with us. Also, I know I ain't hear from you all in a little while. You all may be listening to the other people. I ain't going to fight you. But if you're looking for advertisements, for a person to be able to kind of reach those things, we're building a significant thing. We put some great numbers for you. Some great numbers. I might as well tell you the truth. These are some excellent numbers. If I do say so myself, I put it together and I know what I need to reach, but still I know the fact that I'd like to be able to accommodate you and make sure that you're comfortable with whatever we're putting out. So go and check it out. I would tell you, go and check it out at foundation242.com. But we're getting that thing together today. I think it's under construction. So I talked to my guys. We can be 100% functional and have all those things accessible to you. Please keep in mind that we are doing these things in a manner which takes an entire team, myself and maybe a few people around me, one or two people who are assisting me being able to execute these things. I just got to be decent with you. I know that ain't your business, but I need to be able to let you know that there is sort of a drive, a push, a determination to be able to get to a particular space, and we continue to be able to do those things, all right? So I'd like you guys to be able to follow along with us. Hit me up on 827-0111, 827-0111, and we could be able to get those things done and check those things out, okay? That's that. Guys, so we're here, and we're talking about these things today. and really being able to find out where we are and where we're moving to. Yesterday, we made a commitment to have a good conversation with you about sort of concepts and ideas that exist. Oh, what happened to the screen on YouTube? Hold on, let's check it out. Oh, Lord. Oh, please forgive me, guys. So much things I got to make sure. So that puts it in there also. I got to be able to say this to you that I'm looking for a social media manager. Can I say that to you? I'm looking for a social media manager. We're going through our growing pains. I didn't know that the thing was off. We're going through our Yes, you ain't turn the camera on. The camera's on, but there's a function that I'm supposed to have transition from one screen to another. I didn't touch, so please forgive me for that. All right. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're all over the place. If you want to be able to dive into what we're doing, we'd love you to do that. Check us out on Facebook. Foundation242.com, Foundation242.com. You can also check us out on YouTube, Foundation242. Any of these particular spaces is Foundation242. So the thing is that I'm going to need a couple of things. I'm going to need a DJ. All right. I'm going to need a DJ right now. Right. Probably need 2 shifts of a DJ. Have one. So we're going to need another DJ to be able to come to do some mixes and whatnot, and just get the people get the people going, get them pumped. I don't even know what it is, but it gets the people go. Yeah, we need that, right? I also need social media manager. Social media manager. The persons who will be responsible for being able to transition and to help us with the assistance of developing our YouTube channel, because there's going to be a YouTube channel. We are anticipating being able to have a few shows here, right? If some people who call me and they've made commitments and they said, Howard, we want to be able to come with you to be able to do something with you. All right? I say, okay, no problem. I'm going to fight you. What you want to do? I want to do my own show. All right? So I wouldn't call their name yet, because people just talk, but they ain't really, you know what I mean? Like, they talking, but they ain't really have that kind of a determination and commitment to get to where they talking about. They just talking a good talk. But we in this kind of a space, and we're waiting to hear back from some persons to see if they're committed to being able to move forward and make some things happen. However that looks, we're going to be able to take it from there and make some things happen with them, okay? So we're in this space now. We're looking for a DJ. We're looking for a social media manager. We're looking for talent to put on air. So if you're good behind a microphone, if you have something to say, I have a few people in mind. You understand? I've reached out to 1 or 2 people who I believe will be good, who's never done radio before, but I've been watching them in various spaces. I think that they'll be great behind a microphone. And if you need some assistance, I'll be more than happy to assist. I'm being able to show you these steps to how to be able to make this thing dynamic and make some things happen. So we're looking for on-air personalities, all right? In the midst of being able to do that, we're looking for the right people, okay? So let me know what you're interested in. Let me know if you're jamming with us. Let me know if you want to be able to move like that. We are very interested in you being able to jam with us and do that. There's some other places that we have not really been able to make a determination as to whether or not we're going to do this just yet. But we're here. We're in this kind of a space. We want to be able to make it happen. All right. So, yeah. Let's take this quick commercial break, guys. When we get back, we can dive into a couple more things and talk about where we are as a nation, as a people, and really talk about Father's Day. We committed that we're going to talk about Father's Day, so let's stay steadfast to that commitment. Quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God.
Bless like gold, no bless like gold, bless like gold. There ain't no bless like gold. I stand, tell me pack my clothes, them by. Trump, them must see think I homeless, by. Need a doctor cause I homesick, by. Thank the Lord I get home. I come in home, tell my Grammy break the joint, okay. Tell the DJ play some ratings, okay. From the island,
Listen, this is a complete jam. A complete jam.
I come in home, tell my mommy bake Johnny bread.
It's a jam.
Tell my cousin I will
100%
go
jam.
back.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very kindly. You're tuned in right now to the Foundation, live and in full effect.
I come in home,
It ain't no place like home.
100% it's a jam.
I thank you guys for being able to be here with us as we continue to jam with you and talk about what we're doing on this beautiful Friday evening. Bam! Warm and easy selector out here being able to do his great deal of things. Friday is it's the couple days before Father's Day. Father's Day didn't mean nothing to nobody, though. They don't care about no fathers. They never care about the daddy. My God, let's be decent, right? We're out here jamming, man. I gotta be able to shout out my good, decent guys. Ghetto Pinky Sauce. That's him, right? That's the name, right? Ghetto Pinky Sauce. I like him. 100% I like him. In fact, I didn't call him and tell him I like what he doing. I didn't hit him up and let him know I like what he doing. Ghetto Pinky Sauce. He is absolutely hilarious. Make sure you go and check him out and follow him on TikTok. He got something to say as it relates to all his cousins by nationality. Okay? All the cousins by nationality in the family group, in the family chat. I don't know who the admin is he keeps talking about, right? He say, admin, don't let these people in this. What are you talking about? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Are you freaking out, man? So it's always great to watch him. I enjoy doing those things. Guys, it's a very, very beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to be with you. I am happy to be on radio again. I did my best to kind of be dipping in and out. I wanted to be able to stay as relevant as I can. Whilst we are in the interim, we've been working on this for a very long time. And I got to say to you that we're grateful to be in this space. I can't lie to you. I got to let you know this. We are absolutely grateful to be in this space with you because this is a long time coming. We've been waiting on this for a long time. We've been working at this and really trying to be able to get this thing taken care of and sorted out for a long time. It wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy thing. I can't tell you no lie. So you're not going to look at it like anybody could do it. I mean, if that's how you look at it, that's on you. But this is something that has been a long time coming for us. I got to be able to say that to you. We've been working on this. Even when I was over at the other space, before they start cussing at me and carrying on bad with me, we have been working on this place. This has been about 2 years in the making. I didn't think it was going to take that long. I didn't think it was going to be this expensive. But it is something that we could be able to kind of sit back and look at in awe and continue to be able to give God praise that he's brought us this far. Got to do that. There is no boastfulness in this. There is only humility and gratitude. There's only grace. Because the truth is I couldn't do this by myself. Jesus Christ, no, I couldn't do this by myself. I just couldn't. And so I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be with you guys and you guys supporting us in what we're doing. Julian, what's happening, my brother? Good afternoon. Welcome to the Foundation 89.5. Good morning, my brother. What's happening with you?
Allow me to say that we appreciate you even more, Howard, because you open up our eyes and you're fair and you're honest with your thing.
I appreciate
but let me say happy Father's Day to all the Foundation fathers.
Thank
all
you,
of
man.
you listening to us right now. Happy Father's Day to you. You know, and let us try, those of us who are not doing it, let us try to take up our man's space. Let's take our place. Let's take our place.
I like that.
You know, we complain a lot sometimes. A lot of men sit down around the bar and complain and sit down around the ballpark and complain. But let us take our rightful place. I went into a service the other night. Church full of people. If we had 6 men in there, we had plenty. But they wondering why the woman preaching, why the woman leading the praise team, why the woman directing it. There'll be women there. Somebody has to do it, and God did not design that way. You know, He had His design that we should be in charge. The women are supposed to be our helpmate. The women are supposed to be our assistant. Not leading. But I'm not trying to bash the women today, but to all of the foundation men, all of you, all of the Antoine and Dave and what man the boy there, man?
DeWitt.
Who's that?
DeWitt?
Yeah, and the other one who called you yesterday, man. who used to call on Guardian, who they bar Guardian.
Well, I know Sparky ain't called me yet, but
No,
wait,
that's Sparky. No, man, he used to work with Leslie Miller, man.
Dave ain't called, but that's Dave.
Not Dave.
That's Dave
I
Major.
called Dave. The other one, man, used to work with Leslie Miller, too. He called you yesterday, played after
That's Duet. His Dwight. Duet. Yeah,
Do it,
yeah,
do it,
yeah,
do it,
do it,
do it,
yeah.
yeah, do it too. And do all, man, do all by next year this time, so I ain't got even call the names will be so much, my friend. Trust me.
Yeah, man, we can continue to be able to push forward.
We jamming.
I appreciate you,
tell
brother.
your DJ last night. Tell your DJ who was on last night. He must get a contract with some people who take care of children. Because if somebody did with me last night, I can make one baby last night with the music he's playing.
Okay, good. I can fix that
That
for you.
remind me of them music, them Freeport station with Mr. K and West for them.
I can fix that for you. So
Lady
you
and
want
Rhoda and thing,
you
man.
want romantic music in the evening, so you
No,
can
that's
get
what
the
he's
sweet
playing.
thing in the
That's what
can.
he's playing last night.
Oh.
He's playing some of that last night. That's what I said.
Oh, so you almost
He's
get
playing some of
somebody
that.
pregnant, is what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
You almost get
He
somebody
played
pregnant.
some of that last night, man. He played some of that good last night. I
Julian,
don't know
you
who it
need to
was, but he's
stop.
jamming.
You need to stop,
I tell him
Julian.
my radio stuck now, can't move no more.
You-
But somebody must be with crazy glue on the dial.
You need to stop, Julian.
But
I
really,
appreciate
just
you,
together,
Julian.
man. I can't know to try. Luckily, laugh handsome for Father's Day.
Praise God. Yeah, I appreciate you,
Yeah,
my
man,
brother.
but also allow me to say Happy Father's Day to all of the men, fathers in the bounty coming in from our member of parliament, the Speaker, Ms. Patricia DeWolf.
I like that.
But do well, Grant. Didn't get together.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call. That's 827-0111, 827-0111. We're here. We're jamming. We're live. And we're making some things happen for you. This is a beautiful Father's Day. Wherever you guys are out there, we want to say happy Father's Day to you and to your families, to all the fathers out there. Not the daddies now, not just the baby daddies, not the fellas who's come there, procreate and slide. Talk to me. We ain't talking about you. We're talking about the fellas who say, "Oh, this baby can need pampers. This baby can need this. This baby can need that." You understand? So make sure you're out there and you're contributing. Take the people out. And make some things happen. Say, Howard, Julian can call you every day now. Oh my God, right? So ask Julian if the speaker needs to step down since the woman ain't supposed to be leading. Oh Lord, you all got cause row. You want Julian called back down, cuss? Right? So let's be able to do that and make these things happen, right? Guys, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're all over the place, so make sure you check us out and see exactly what's what as we continue to be able to do this from Foundation Nation. Let's talk about these things now. A lot of things are happening in the newspaper. I want to talk about daddies, though. We talked about respect yesterday. It's important that we do that. I had started a very good conversation with Garth yesterday, and we were talking about the foundation of respect. And how the Word of God speaks to us about this sort of an idea that women love your husbands. Husbands love your wives. Wives respect your husbands. And that relationship, that reciprocity and the elements necessary in that relationship is a lot of the things that we don't necessarily talk about. I don't know whether or not we've ever really dug into this sort of an idea of looking at what respect is. But as we climb out of the euphoric feeling, out of this being enamored and washed away by the idea of love as men, and then we climb into another tier of this relationship that we've made commitments to, and we still attach this kind of a relentless love, we don't even know if there is a level of respect that exists in this space. Talk to me. How are we talking? Are we talking? Okay. Let's talk with clarity. We don't even know if there is a level of respect that exists between the relationship just yet. And I don't know, I think it's just this era that we live in. And I think as men in a society that's wrapped in tradition, let's just be clear about this. Our society is wrapped in tradition. And any young man who aspires to do things through the front door, the right way, they fall in line with what is a requirement of this society. How are we talking? Let's be clear. We're talking about this. Okay? Traditional men in this society, very traditional old school men, they do the same thing. They don't get riled up about anything. They just do the same thing. And one of the features that I hear, talk to me now. Y'all can call me 827-0111. Y'all, let's talk about it. One of the features that I hear that is lacking in relationships in this country, when I talk to men. Now, I ain't talking about when women in front of them. Let's be clear. When women in front of them, let's be clear. Ain't nobody can say that to you when your woman in front of you. Ain't nobody can have this kind of a conversation with you when your woman in front of you, right? I remember a story. I just can read this little story from you. The story of Esther. Let's look at that from a biblical standpoint. When we look at that, we'll be able to talk about those particular things, right? You could be able to see this and hear this sort of an idea about where this started, right? Now, I always take on this kind of a position and always try to be able to identify how this happens from an origin standpoint. I want to be able to make this cultural. I want you to be able to understand this. I really want to fight you about being able to do that. But I want you to understand that there is an origin. And the Bible has always been able to tell us how this started. Can I do this? Can we do this? It ain't gonna be difficult. But it's going to be something that I want you to be able to hear. Now, I got a little thing, so you can hear some things. I got a little technology. So I don't have to necessarily read. So I can be able to play this for you so you could be able to hear it. Now, y'all don't go crazy with me. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up and see exactly what's what. The book of Esther. The book of Esther tells us this particular story. Let's see if we can be able to do that. Let's see if we can do this and then pull this up right now so you can be able to see this. All right. So it's Esther chapter 1. Let's look at Esther chapter 1. Let's pull this up. Book of Esther chapter 1. In the book of Esther chapter 1, it starts to talk about that this happened during a time. Let me see if I can be able to get this right. Now, I always say to you about Queen Vashti. Now, this is a peculiar thing. I'm going to go with the NIV version for you, for all those persons who don't necessarily follow along. I'm going to go with the NIV version for you so you can be able to hear just a little bit about this. Let's just go. Now, we're talking about relationships and the importance of being able to have these things. Let's try that out. Okay, so let's go. Chapter 1.
The book of Esther, chapter 1.
This is chapter 1.
This is what happened during the time of Xerxes, Xerxes who ruled over 127 provinces stretching from India to Kush.
Right.
At that time, King Xerxes reigned from his royal throne in the citadel of Susa, and in the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all his nobles and officials.
In the 3rd year of his reign, which is the divine year, he gave a banquet for all these particular persons within his region. Let's read this. Let's listen.
The military leaders of Persia
Everybody.
and Media,
Everybody
the
came.
princes and the nobles of the provinces were present.
Okay.
For a full 180 days he displayed the vast wealth of his kingdom and the splendor and glory of his majesty.
This Esther
when
chapter 1.
When these days were over, the king gave a banquet lasting 7 days in the enclosed garden.
7 days worth of feast. In the 3rd year of divinity, they had 7 days, which is also the number of completion. They had a feast for 7 days, being able to celebrate him being able to find himself in this position. He was a married man and he had a queen. Let's talk about it.
Garden of the king's palace, for all the people from the least to the greatest who were in the citadel of Susa. The garden had hangings of white and blue linen, fastened with cords of white linen and purple material.
Celebration.
To silver rings on marble pillars.
Celebration.
There were couches of gold and silver and a mosaic pavement of porphyry,
big celebration.
marble,
This is a big party,
pearl, and other costly stones. Wine was served in goblets of gold, each
big
one
party.
different from the other, and the royal wine was...
They didn't bring none of the plastic cups out. They bring all the things from the china closet. This was a big party. I need you to understand this. We're going somewhere with this story.
Was abundant in keeping with the king's liberality.
Okay.
By the king's command, each guest was allowed to drink with no restrictions, for the king instructed all the wine stewards to serve each man what he wished.
And if they was black people, they was wet up in this man's place for 7 days. They was drunk, having a great time with all the accoutrements, all the aesthetics. This place was absolutely adorned, beautiful, right? We going somewhere with this story. We're talking today. I want you to go
Queen
with me.
Vashti also gave a banquet for the women in the royal palace of
There's 2 banquets. Now, the reason is because, there was a separation between men and women, the way that the women celebrate, so forth and so on. You don't necessarily need to be here with the men. So Queen Vashti was responsible. She was also responsible for the oversight and project management of her own party. Let's do this.
King Xerxes. On the
Okay? Let's see if we can be able to get this there. Hold on now. I don't know what happened to this now.
day when King Xerxes was in high spirits from wine, he commanded the 7 eunuchs who served him, Mehuman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, Abigtha, Zithar, and Carcass, to bring before him Queen Vashti wearing her royal crown, in order to display her beauty to the people and nobles, for she was lovely to look at.
I just need you to understand something, guys. Y'all going with me? This is a strong story. If you don't go to church and your pastor ain't never tell you like this, we can do it like this today. We're talking as men, for the understanding of where respect has been left out in our relationship. Let's talk. Now, at the beginning of the story, we understand the accoutrements, the environment, the aesthetics, how this place was set up with all the gold and all the goblets and everybody drunk and you could drink as much as you want. This was a show of appreciation, and this was a show that we in this particular space want to celebrate you for being able to be here with us. We decided to be able to throw 2 humongous party for 7 days in this kind of a space, and the only thing the king desired is for his wife Vashti to come out with her crown and all adorned and all of her accoutrements to show her beauty, because she was beautiful to look upon. Let's talk.
But when the attendants delivered the king's command,
They didn't tell her come.
Queen Vashti refused to come.
In the front of all our wife, because there's princes, kings, mayors, heads, lieutenants, the whole thing. These are high men and high ranking in society from all over the region. And they said to you, go get your wife, and your wife refused in front of my wife. We have a problem. Watch this.
Then the king became furious and burned with anger, since it was customary for the king to consult experts in matters of law.
She knew that this was the tradition. She knew that this was customary. She knew that this was the expectation. She knew that this is what was supposed to happen during this particular time. She knew that. And in knowing that, she still took on this kind of a position and did that. Talk to me.
Justice, he spoke with the wise men who understood the times and were closest to the king: Karshena, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marsena, and Memucan, the 7 nobles of Persia and Media, who had special access to the king and were highest in the kingdom.
Watch it now.
According to law, what must be done to Queen Vashti? He
Watch
asked.
it.
She has not obeyed the command of King Xerxes that the eunuchs have taken to her.
According to law.
Memucan replied in the presence of the king and the nobles, Queen Vashti has done wrong, not only against the king, but also against all the nobles and the peoples of all the provinces of King Xerxes.
Because when I go home, my wife can say, if this is the position that Queen Vashti take, I could take the same position with my husband. Because this obviously must be the new trend. And so the men gathered, all the noblemen, gathered together and spoke to the king and said, by law, what you got to do with your wife Vashti now? Watch it now.
For the queen's conduct will become known to all the women, and so they will despise their husbands and say, King Xerxes commanded Queen Vashti to be brought before him, but she would not come.
Come on now.
This very day the Persian and Median women of the nobility who have heard about the queen's conduct will respond to all the king's nobles in the same way. There will be no end of disrespect and discord. Therefore, if it pleases the king,
she started hell in the kingdom by her defiance for the tradition that exists in this particular space. You all got to remember some stuff now. You remember that John, when the angel came down, the archangel who sit on the side of Jesus Christ, that came down, who sit on the side of God and came down and said to Zachariah, Zachariah, your child will be named John. What did Zachariah say? Who? John? Who the hell is John? He telling the angel this. He said, who the hell is John? It is by tradition in this place. Remember that his wife couldn't even have children. Hold on now. His wife couldn't even have children. But when the angel came down, he said, hold on. You don't come in our jurisdiction and tell us what we should do. This boy name can be just what my name is. And this is the tradition that exists in this place. These people were hard on tradition. This is how they kept societies intact. This is how they kept this in place. So now Vashti, Queen Vashti, in her posture and her position, rejected this sort of an idea of being able to genuflect to what her husband's requirements were. Her husband didn't just say, come here, baby. He sent all of the royal nobles who were being able to sit with him and say, go for my wife. And tell her, put on all of her accoutrements, put on her queen, a crown, put on all of these particular things, and come here and watch her be served in this particular manner. She rejected the idea. Watch this. They came back and they said, now hold on now. If your wife can do this, my wife can have a problem also. Watch it now.
Let him issue a royal decree, and let it be written in the laws of Persia and Media, which cannot be repealed, that Vashti is never again to enter the presence of King Xerxes.
Banish.
Also, let the king give her royal position to someone else who is better than she.
Banish.
Then when the king's edict is proclaimed throughout all his vast realm, all the women will respect their husbands, from the
Banish.
least to the greatest. The king and his nobles were pleased with this advice, so the king did as Memucan proposed. He sent dispatches to all parts of the kingdom, to each province in its own script, and to each people in their own language, proclaiming that every man should be ruler over his own household using his native tongue. Esther 2.
I want you to hear this now.
Later, when King Xerxes' fury had subsided, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what he had decreed about her. Then the king's personal attendants proposed, let a search be made for beautiful young virgins for the king. Let the king appoint commissioners in every province of his realm to bring all these beautiful young women into the harem at the citadel of Susa. Let them be placed under the care of Hegai, the king's eunuch,
Watch it
who
now.
is in charge of the women, and let beauty treatments be given to them.
Read the story for yourselves, guys. That story actually spills into how Esther was found and how her uncle Mordecai had good position, and he was being able to take care of some things. He whispered some stuff in certain person's ear. Esther didn't have no mommy and no daddy. As a result of Esther not having no mommy and no daddy, Esther didn't know what the position was that she was supposed to take. Mordecai had to tell her, Esther, baby, you may have been born and preserved for such a time as this, the liberation of her people, but she more than anything else, she understood her position. If you read this story and you understand the contrast between Vashti and her defiant position, even after she has been elevated to a position of great authority throughout the land, Esther was still pumped up with this sort of an arrogance and this sort of rejection of the idea of being able to serve. That's it. That's it. As men, our desire is a woman who understands her place. Oh God, Jesus, this is too much. This on Urka Radio now, so I know y'all ain't want to talk like this, but we get to talk, baby. As men, and historically you could look at any story in the Bible, there are men, especially men who commit themselves to a greater call and a greater cause, to the purpose that they've been identified for. Whether you look at Abraham, which is Abram, and Sarah, which is Sarai, before they was able to change their name and she was able to have a child, before when God, this is the Bible actually indicates that he came and he supped and he broke bread with him, right? And then Sarah laughed and she said, you're going to be next year, you're going to be pregnant. And she laughed to herself. They didn't even know. There is a rejection of the idea, even if we go all the way back to the inception of this creation. And in every story, we could be able to identify that there has been one element that has been consistent, the element of disrespect. We as men continue to be able to look for companionship. we as men continue to be able to look out for a woman who loves us. We want to be able to be taken care of in all these particular steps. I might as well tell you the truth. Before I got married, this is one of the things that I prayed to God for. I said, Lord, I want a woman who I love and who will love me. Rejected this sort of an idea of respect, right? And in the midst of those particular things, men in strategic positions who would have been married before said, boy, Howard, you're getting married. Young women these days don't know how to, they ain't respecting it now. You might getting this and you might getting that. I said, no, I'm in love with the woman. The woman in love with me, we can be okay. As time erodes and things go on now, I've been in this thing here, I'm going to be honest with you, for 26 years. And I'm madly in love with my wife. And I love her endlessly. But every juncture of indifference we've ever buck heads with had to do with respect. Now, I don't know whether or not society has structured as some things in society has really shifted the rules of how men and women interact in the home. Okay? I don't know whether or not as a result of this concept and idea of who is the breadwinner and I have to work too and I go out and I do these particular things. I don't know. Now, this is something that women have asked for. This is something that their forefathers have asked for. And their foremothers have asked for. They wanted to be liberated. They didn't want to be in the house cooking all day. They didn't want to be in these particular spaces. They want to be liberated. They wanted to be able to get out. And so when this transition happened, in our time, in our era, after the Second World War, when women were able to get into the work field because all the men were gone off and so many men died and so forth and so on, and they went from the personnel department to human resources and so forth and so on. These things happen in real time. When women were able to convince their men to agitate to take the wire out of a bra or to wear a bra and to fix this and to be able to get birth control and to work on these particular elements and to ensure that they could be able to fight. There were women behind the scene influencing strategic men of power to be able to ensure that they could be able to manipulate or give some consideration to women and their feelings, emotions to be able to get some things. Okay, so they got it. Praise God. As a result of the acquisition of these things, now the next generation only could see empowerment. Well, we don't need you. I don't never need no man to do nothing. I don't need no man to do this. I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need all these things. And these things happen in real time. Our relationships continue to be able to erode in this country because of a lack of respect. We don't respect each other. We don't respect each other's roles. We don't respect each other's position. And we could go down to the core and say it's because of this or it's because of that. But my question is, how do we get respect back into the relationships? With husbands loving your wife, yielding to your wife, taking care of your wife, securing her, making sure that she's beautiful, making sure that she feels beautiful, that you reassure her, that you continue to be able to undergird that and say to her, listen, I love you. And how do you now get that reciprocity of respect to know that your husband has a vision, a goal, an aspiration, an idea to be able to find himself climbing to make these things happen? Let's talk about this. Our society has come too far. We've come too far. We've come from the fishing village. We've come from these particular spaces. We've come from a very long way. And in coming from those ways, and in coming from those ways and coming from those particular spaces, I don't know whether or not we've done enough. We've done enough to understand each gender's responsibility, especially with the introduction of the LGBTQ now, which identify love across the board as love. And so there's no kind of a separation of power. There's no separation of position. There's no separation of anything in the home anymore. There's only this relentless and perpetual conversation that everyone is on the same plane. Everyone is in the same position. Everyone is in this kind of a same place. I think that that's eroding society. And I think that we need to be able to identify The fact that, yes, we don't have a problem with women working and so forth and so on. We don't have a problem with women participating and so forth and so on. We are all for equality and equal rights and justice and so forth and so on. These things are great. But when it comes to relationships, how do we differentiate between leadership roles and understanding that a man rules the house and that there should be respect given to this man so they can be able to get to an objective? There's strong stuff that I'm saying to you today. This ain't no easy conversation. And I know that there's a great deal of people that doesn't necessarily agree with this. But I want to ask you, on the eve of Father's Day, is there an issue with respect in the homes? Talk to me. 827-0111, 827-0111. If there is an issue with respect in the homes, the question that I have for you is whether or not this issue that exists with respect, does it spill off into the children? Do you see this lack of respect from the children's standpoint also? If the mother doesn't have respect, whether that's mother, whether that's baby mother, whether that's wife, whatever that is, if there is a defied position, there is an argument that continues to be able to come up in our society that I believe is asinine. Can I say that? Is it okay to talk like this? If you are engaged with a woman as a man and you say, I think we should do this, or why don't you do this, or have you considered doing this? The retort in many spaces, especially those of us who are of a darker hue, would say, you ain't my daddy. You ever hear this? You ain't my daddy. You can't tell me what to do. This disrespect in our society has actually bubbled into so much things. It's bubbled into so much things. And I believe that the men of old understood that there is a slippery slope with the introduction of disrespect. That if we allow this to happen right now with Queen Vashti and turn a blind eye, the entire community could be able to fall into disarray if we allow this one person to get away with this one incident. It's the kind of conversation I want to have today. I want you guys to be able to join me and dive into these conversations and see exactly what's what. Let's take a quick break, guys. We're going to be right back after this. And we are back. 89.5 FM radio, the foundation, Howard Grant. As we slide into Father's Day, being able to have some of these more grueling conversations that a lot of persons feel is taboo, men will continue to be able to talk about in our quadrants, in our spaces, among each other, and find the similarity that exists in relationships. There are men that I know that it's say, as a result of respect, I'm on my third wife, I'm on my second wife, I'm considering being able to leave this relationship I'm in right now. Respect is a serious thing, and I don't know whether or not we put emphasis on it. There's sort of an idea that a man has in his head that whenever he has an opportunity, how he will create his kingdom, how he would create his domain, how when he get in his own space that he would be able to, like for instance, my grandfather used to cook peas and rice, right? My grandfather. And he would boil the celery. He would boil the celery into whatever this kind of a setup was. He always get the pork. He put the pork in there, fry it down, put the peas in there, whatever the case may be, and then he would boil the celery in it. Now, when I was young, the boiling of the celery, it felt like ethanol. Anytime I ate the food, it felt like an alcohol, like an ethanol that I would smell in the food. I hate celery. I could eat celery raw, I would rather eat it raw. I hate celery in my food, point blank. This happened from I was a child. From I was a child, I can't eat celery in my food because when my grandfather did it and he put the celery in his food, I couldn't eat it. I couldn't eat it. It made me nauseous. I couldn't eat it. Lobster made me nauseous. I can't eat it. Anytime I eat pork, I don't sleep well. I don't eat it. Now, my point to you is that as a man in the space of another, if I were to say to my grandfather, don't put celery in the food, they laugh me out. They say, well, you don't need to eat. You don't need to eat. You can tell me how to cook. You own anything? And I don't have to go through that. You understand? Every man has a desire that after he reach a particular point, how he could be able to contribute and hold something for himself. When I get a chance, I'm going to make my domain like this. When I get a chance, I'm going to do this like this. And for the most part, you'll find yourself in a relationship with a woman who said when she get a chance, she can do this like this. Ain't no man can ever boom, 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 boom. And now you butt heads. And a lot of times in our society, men continue to be able to genuflect and say, all right, baby, have your way. And we yield to this sort of a concept that happy wife, happy life. But it continues to be able to mount misery upon a man. Because the only thing that he had ever aspired toward is being able to create an environment that he was satisfied with what he wanted to do. Many can talk to you all about this. Many can talk to you about this. And it's so hard to be able to change the stripes of a zebra. It is so hard to change this sort of an idea of an old dog, right? To teach an old dog new tricks. And we're not trying to be able to diminish a woman. We're only using these sort of an analogy and giving you these cultural references to make you to understand something bigger. Okay? It is so very hard when we find ourselves in the position of being able to shift and say, I think you should do something different. Well, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been doing this like this for 25 years. I might have changed now because of you. You just met me in this particular space. That's why the Bible tells you don't despise and don't put away the wife of your youth. Because she would have developed and grown with you. She knows some things. But when you meet a person who is steadfast and cemented in their position, it's hard to change that. And I know some men who gone from wife to wife to wife to wife looking for the perfect fit that they can meet them exactly where they are and being able to move forward. I know them. I know some men who've retreated to the idea that this is going to be, this misery that I've endured will be the rest of my life. And I got to make the most out of it. So they go quick, they go quiet. I know it. Our society is having the issue that it is because a great deal of us have given up on the idea that there could ever be a sense of symmetry and marital bliss. You know what people has come to ask you, and I believe that this is just how the sweetheart conversation start. Y'all don't want to talk about this, but we can talk about this. I've never met people who are so presumptuous in my life and when I come here in Nassau. I never meet people like this in my life. If I meet them, I know that my wife meet them too. I never meet people like this in my life. People just come, they talk to you, they say, hey, how you doing? Hey, good to see you, man. What's going on? Oh, you married? Yeah, I'm married. Oh, how long you been married? I've been married for 20-something years. Oh, you've been married for 20-something years? Happily? Excuse me, miss, how does happily get in this conversation? How happily getting this? How happily getting this? How you asking me whether or not I'm happy? I'm a married man. We never sign up for happy. We sign up for companionship. We sign up so we don't be lonely. We never sign up for happy. We don't want to be lonely, especially at 4:30 in the morning. We need companionship. Talk to me how I talking. I talking good? Yeah. We need the convenience of accessibility and certain environments. I can't get no amen. Jesus, y'all even talk to me. We need praise God. We don't need the whole pie. We just need a slice. How I talking? Just a little. Talk to me. We never sign up for happy. And if you think you can convince me and ask me a question if I ever been happy, if I married happy and so forth, you will not make me happy. Jezebel, you are a liar. You trying to convince me otherwise. I can see the devil in you. You need to stop. Never ask me if I'm happy. Now you got me thinking, am I really happy? You causing problems in my house? Stop it. Our society is devolved into a place of sheer contentment. No one seeks to be able to find this sort of bliss in marriage. You give the social appearance of wearing the same clothes. You have this sort of an idea that you are uniformed together when you go from an external standpoint, but you don't have that kind of a bliss, that relationship that you desire internally. And so you just function. You just function out of necessity. And a lot of persons look at it and say, oh, maybe I'm staying here for the kids. Maybe the mortgage. I think the man say he was sleeping in another room for 35 years. 35 years, he said, how would I touch my wife in 30? He's a dead man now. Dead man now. And I sure ain't touch his wife before he gone. But he gone dead. At the point I knew him, he said he ain't touch his wife in 35 years. I asked him if he's stupid. How can be with a woman for 35 years and you ain't never touch her? Yeah? Shanta knows them would know my name straight out of Mr. Grant. There's allegations of assault again, sexually upon your wife. And I was Shanta, listen, I had to You got the cell makeup? You got the cell ready? Let's go. 35 years the man told me he said, Howard, I slept downstairs and she sleeps upstairs. Listen to me, I wouldn't even tell you how he introduced me to the idea that he has a wife. So I asked him, so you got a wife? Yeah, man, I got that beep somewhere. Whoa, sir. This is too much. This is too much. Why would you introduce her like this? I don't know nothing about what y'all going through. What you doing? And then he goes into a story and tell me how he would have been with the woman and all these things and this and that. And this is too much information. But nonetheless, we go with the story. And so you identify these things and you talk about these things. But I just want to be very clear with you. There's some things that are happening in our society. And there is a lack of symmetry, compatibility, transparency. I don't know if that's as a result of relationships. I don't know what it is. And I use this kind of a space to have a conversation with other people to try to find out whether or not there are similarities that we can all work out and work on together. I know that there is, and a lot of people don't like to be able to talk about this like this, but I know that there is a spirit that exists in this kind of a space. The spirit of indifference, the spirit that is designed to be able to destroy families and destroy relationships and make you to be able to see something with this sort of an idea. As we continue to be able to dive deeper into our telephones and recalibrate our brains, and sometimes that there is a subconscious seed that's being planted against our significant other. This divisive posture and position of the enemy is to kill, seek, and destroy anything that is established in righteousness. Anything that is established in righteousness. The divisive position of the enemy is to kill, seek, and destroy. That's what it is. And so your marriage, the holy matrimony of being able to stand before God and before a congregation and make a commitment, a covenant, to be able to step over into a position and make with clarity that there will be trials and tribulation, ups and downs, for good or for bad, for worse, for better or for worse. And you make this commitment. And the first time you get in problems, you're ready to roll out. The first time you get in problems and indifference, you don't have the mechanisms of communication to be able to say to this other person, hey, listen, I need to get here. I need to get there. As fathers, we got to work on our communication. As fathers, devoid of anger, being able to put our anger aside. As fathers, as husbands, we need to be able to say to our significant other, there are some expectations we have. Now, sometimes the fear of doing that is that I've gone too far. Too much time has elapsed. The woman already then in the rhythm of what she does. It'll be easier for me to leave this woman than to be able to have a conversation of being able to change this relationship, because I can't see her ever changing to be able to be a better woman. But you haven't made a commitment to change yourself. Yeah, man. You got to make a commitment. And you got to cast the vision for your family. This relentless posture of just being able to get up and go to work, and this survival position that we have, is not a vision that people can follow. There's no dream that a woman can help you build if all you're doing is getting up, going to work, coming home. Getting up, going to work, coming home. Getting up, going to work. We ain't build nothing in our personal lives. The gifts that God has given us, we ain't even serving in the church. We're not serving in any one of the civic organizations in our community. We're not participating even with our kids from a school standpoint. We're not doing anything other than getting up, going to work, coming home. Getting up, going to work, coming home. This cycle that exists in this particular space, there is no need for a helpmate. You bring a woman that join in this rat race with you. And the difficulty that you have in your relationship, that most of us have in our relationship, is that we don't know how to be able to incorporate the sort of an idea of being able to cast a vision for our family. There's a talent that exists in you. There's more than just this sort of an idea that you're good with this. There is something that you can do to contribute to society, and you'll be amazed to know how your woman, your wife, your significant other contributes when you put your vision to the test. Now, there's a great deal of people out there who need to see these things come to pass. If that's what you're waiting on, you ain't the one to ride with. I might as well tell you, I ain't riding with you. I need you to come and go with me when the only thing we had was dirt. We didn't have a vision. We didn't have anything. We only had a dream in our hearts and dirt in our hands. I need you to help me turn this to clay. I need you to help me build the bricks necessary. I need you to be able to help me cement these things down there. I need to help build this, to build the foundation. I need you to help me. Anybody could do what you're doing. Anybody could do what you're doing. Oh, as a customer service rep, I've been working here for 15 years. The day you die, they got somebody to be able to... Listen, as soon as you have palpitations and you can't come to work, they find somebody else to fix you. To fix that position. These people don't care about you. Huh? As soon as your heart beat, run, chase up, and then slow down, and you say, oh, Jesus, what is this? Let me go to the doctor. How many days you need? All right, no problem. And they bring somebody in. Corporations don't need you to be able to execute their vision. They've already created a vision, a concept, and an idea, and anyone could come in and fill a position. Your husband needs you. Your husband need to help you. You need to help your husband build something. You know, I said to my wife, I told my wife, I went to a Starbucks. I was having coffee with one of the old politicians who have passed away. I was having coffee. Well, I was having coffee and he was there, right? And whilst I was there having coffee and being able to talk about those things, he started to have this kind of a conversation about these young girls, right? And then the fellow on the side of me talked to me about how this politician tell the young girl if she wants some help or whatnot, she keep catching bus. He could buy her a car, but she gonna have to do something for this car. Young girl, right? This young girl who about to get a car, who refused to be able to give over to this politician, old man. It's like a former politician, though. He's like an old man. And she refused that. And he gave her $10 in quarters and tell her, you need this. Bam. And I look at that and I say, these old stinking hyenas. That's what I say. These are some old dirty hyenas. All they're looking for is the slowest antelope that can't keep up with the pack, and they ready to eat you alive. These old hyenas. And I promised God, I said, God, my baby got freckles. She was a little girl at the time. She may have been 8. My baby girl got freckles. I said, Lord, I don't know if she can go to have freckles all over her chest, but she got it on her face now. I cannot see that when my baby girl get old, that she can need to get a job, and she got to go through all of this slop and filth to get a job from these nasty old men who never intended to give you a job, but they will take care of you once you take care of them. I got to create something for my daughter. I never stopped fighting from that day. Well, I was fighting before that, but this was sort of the fire that really caused me to push. Now, bear in mind that my daughter isn't working with me at all here. She's of age now, and she won't do her own thing. But that ain't my business. My business is whenever she need me, I'm able to take care of her. That's my business. My business ain't to pressure her. If she want to go and get the experience, if she want to go off and do what she have to do and do it, that's fine with me. If she doesn't understand with her mind, if it hasn't been able to hit the peak maturity to understand that Daddy's created this for me and us, If that ain't hit her mind yet, that ain't on me. I've created an environment that I could make sure that she's accommodated and she will be financially and otherwise can be able to strengthen herself and move forward in this country. She don't have to worry about jumping on a bus and no man giving her no $10 quarters and telling her she need to do something strange to come and talk to me. I can't even get away, man. I can't deal with that. I don't know how you thinking, but these fellas out here ravaging the youth in this country. And youth already, their minds are already conditioned that exchange ain't a robbery. And so there's a level of prostitution that's happening in our country right now. And it is under the guise of survival. What would you want me to do? Exchanging a robbery? I don't want no man jumping up on me. But these are the conversations that are happening right now. And so, yet again, you're looking for contentment. You reject the idea of being able to build. Everyone is afraid of a challenge. Everyone is afraid of being able to sweat. You want to be comfortable. You're like the populace. You got to break away and understand that you cannot be comfortable and build at the same time. That's it. Men have the responsibility of being able to cast a vision for their household. And the reason why a lot of men are unable and don't even understand their responsibility is because so many women have grown up these men. They never had real interaction as young men as young boys with men. They never understood. Nothing ever clicked to them because they were always surrounded by women. Women, their aunties, their aunties, their Grammies, all these particular persons congregate to take care of a young boy, but could never give that young boy the elements that he needs to be able to survive in a man's world. And so we have these issues. And these issues continue. We got to fix this. We got to be able to identify how we fix this. You got to cast a vision. You got to know your strengths. You got to know your position. You got to be able to be determined to be able to move some things and make some things happen. How do we get respect back in our homes? We got to. I'm grateful to you guys for being able to allow me to have this kind of a conversation with you. I want to take another, hold on. No, man, you can't speak out of two sides of your mouth. He say in one breath, woman ain't supposed to lead. He is called every day saying, Madam Speaker, this is Madam Speaker, that this. He talk with Julian. Leave Julian alone, right? Leave Julian alone. All right? But these are the kind of conversations I will have with you. These ain't the easiest conversations to have. It ain't. Nobody want to hear that. And you're holding your breath. You're waiting for me to come down by Fish Fry. Come down by this place or that place. You're waiting to see me when ain't no woman around. Boy, Howard, you ain't lie, but let me tell you something. My wife is the most disrespectful woman. Jesus. Oh, Howard, you wouldn't believe. I know, because you can tell me. You can tell me, but when we can let these women know? As a father, on Father's Day, should we have a father's conversation? You're scared to do that. Then we can let the woman know. Oh, no, boy, Howard, I ain't want row. I ain't want no row. She got to cook for me. She got to cook for me, and I can eat something else. Yeah, I understand. I'm not going to fight you. I just want to know how we can fix this. Somebody got to talk to them. Sometimes a woman is content. Don't be in the position. Listen to me. You think everything is good until a man bring you a summons. Until somebody knock on your door and say, meet me in the court on this day, that day, for legal separation. You don't know that these men building this. You don't know that. You don't know that this man already gets swing, and a woman say, "Are you happily married?" And he then lie and say, "Well, then talk about separation. You never talk to the woman, but that never, ever, ever. But you allow this Jezebel to try to convince you against your wife, and you never try to work that thing out ever with your wife. How do we get to a position of respect? I just want respect. I want respect. Let's talk about it. Let me take a quick break, guys. Gonna be right back. Be right back after this.
First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God.
Bless like God, no bless like God, bless like God, there ain't no bless like God. I stand, tell me pack my clothes, them by. Trump, them must see think I homeless, by. Need a doctor cause I homesick, by. Thank the Lord I get home. I come in home, tell my Grammy break Johnny, yeah. Tell the DJ play some reggae straight. From the island, I ain't from no state. Buy one ticket and I on my way. I come in home, tell my mommy bake Johnny bread. Tell my cousin how I'm cold got back. Tell the DJ play some reggae straight. From the island, I ain't from no state. I come in home, it ain't no place like home. 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 They must see think I's Wycliffe, eh? Oh, they must see think I's Lauren, eh? So don't treat me like no refugee. Thank the Lord I get a warm. I come in home, don't treat me like no alien. Just to make your country great again. My passport say Bahamian, and I brought away from me. I going home, no place like home. There ain't no place like home. It 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 ain't no place like home. Thank the Lord I get a home. I going home, I stand tell me pop my clothes them back. Trump them must see think I homeless, bye. Need a doctor cause I homesick, bye. Thank the Lord I get a home. I go in home, tell my Grammy back to Johnny, yeah. Tell the DJ play some reggae straight. From the island, I ain't from no state. Buy my ticket and I on my way. I come in home, tell my mommy back to Johnny, yeah. Tell my brother how from cold out there. Tell the DJ play some reggae straight. From the island, I ain't from no state. I coming home, it ain't no place like home. 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 It ain't no place like home.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Father's Day to all those persons celebrating Father's Day. Like I told you, go down there and get yourself taken care of. Whether that is getting your back rubbed down. I get one stress ball on my shoulder. Jesus God Almighty. I got to go check out Vance, man. I'm at Baja Retreat. I get one stress ball on the top of my shoulder here, right? I couldn't even lift my hand. I still can't even do it. I couldn't even lift my hand high because I keep getting that prick in my shoulder. I had the gun, the medicine gun. I mean the gun, you know, the, what's this gun thing called, right? The massage gun, right? I had the massage gun and I put it on my shoulder and I got some of that Kwang Long oil. I told you what the Kwang Long was, right? You would have seen it in your Chinese restaurants or whatnot. I don't know. If it worked for me, I like to be able to say to you that it works, right? So I got some of that Kwang Long oil. And in the midst of being able to get that oil, let me see if I can show you the picture of it. I got that Kwang Long oil and that thing was amazing. My grandmother used to use that on her knee years and years ago. So I used some of that on my shoulder. When I got the thing on my shoulder, I used the gun and I push it down. The pain, whatever the muscle something was, it moved from the top of my shoulder to the bottom. Oh my God, my back was hurting me so bad. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So you got to be able to get yourself rubbed down properly, man. You got to be able to get yourself rubbed down properly if you want to be able to get your massage. And I was looking for somebody who could do pedicures for Bigfoot, big man, Bigfoot. And I ain't find him yet. So if you're out there and you do pedicures, you want to be able to give me a call, 827-0111. Let me know. Let me get my pedicure so we could be able to talk to the people tomorrow and tell them how they can get their pedicures and get these things taken care of. Guys, if you want to be able to do a live remote from your location, we should be able to make that happen for you tomorrow. If you're interested in that, call me and we can come to your location and talk about all the things that you have. We could be able to do that for a couple hours if this is what you're interested in. 827-0111, 827-0111. We'll be more than happy to spend some time with you and talk about your stuff. The whole city can hear us. We are live and in full effect throughout the island of Nassau. Wherever you go, you could hear us live and in full effect in Nassau. And we could be able to make some things happen like that. So give me a call, 827-0111, 827-0111. And we'd be more than happy to get those things taken care of. So get yourself rubbed down, get your shoes, get your feet done, pedicure, right? And some men is do the manicure. I used to do the manicure too. I ain't got no problem with that. Just don't put all the little polishing thing on me. I good with that. I keep your hands looking healthy. Right? My barber keep telling me, Howard, you never shout me out still. Never say nothing. I say, what? He said, all the time you're going on TV and whatnot, you never tell the people you're a barber. I say, we never talk about this. Yes, but if you want to catch a good fresh or whatever the case may be, you got to go check out my good guy. Kevin, he does my haircuts for me. Keeps me clean, keep me fresh. He's a professional. He does well. Call me, send me some information. Who's Kevin? You got to make you book your appointment. So when you walk in there at your time, you sit right in the chair and get your haircut. Okay? So you get these things done. All right, guys, give me a call, 827-0111. Send me the information that you need as we continue to be able to move forward and make some stuff happen throughout this island here in the nation. I'm grateful to be here with you guys. I'm always grateful to be able to talk to this. Like, when he's leaving, I wanted to tell you this, man. It's not going to be an easy conversation to have. I know you would rather have sort of a light-hearted, light-spirited conversation about something that's nice and easy about this, but I see in too much of my guys turn into sweethearting, turning to every level of debauchery, turning to alcoholism, turning to substance, to look for euphoric feeling to get away from the monotony that is their relationship with this person who they fall in love with. Y'all don't want to talk like this. And it only stems from respect. A man who works hard, who's committed to family, who has never run away, who is taking care of the family, to be treated in a particular manner is crazy. It's crazy. Now, we see it happening all over the world. I feel like America takes on this kind of a position to train its children to disrespect men. Now, that's not an articulated posture, but it is through this sort of a defiant, dismissive posture of being able to identify yourself on par with men and say, well, if you're doing it, I could do that. If you're doing this, I could do that. I don't need a man for this. I don't need a man for that. And so that's always sort of a difficult thing going into a relationship. And I don't think the older generation has any hope for us. I don't think they do. I don't think that the older generation has any hope for the youth. My father did not have hope that a young person, a young girl that I meet she would be without children and all these things like that. He didn't have praise God, he's my daddy. But my Father in heaven knew that I wasn't going, no, Jesus. My Father in heaven knew what my standard was and what my expectation was, and we could be able to do this. My Father knew that. You understand? Prosecutors closed case against Gibson and others. The prosecution on Thursday closed their corruption case against former Water and Sewage Corporation Executive Chairman Adrian Gibson 2.5 years after calling their first witness. Gibson's former fiancée, Alexandria Mackey, who previously testified he abused his position to give contracts to companies that he told her to form, concluded her evidence today. Mackey, who was granted immunity, testified that Bahama Maintenance and Elite Maintenance all eventually sent money to Edwell Nino Holdings. Is that what we say it? Edwell Nino? Which was controlled by Gibson. She also testified that the money to buy properties in Long Island and New Providence came from those contracts. Following a testimony, Director of Public Prosecution Cordell Frazier closed her case without, let's read this, it's just something that we're looking at the paper, this is the Guardian that we're reading today, closed her case without calling 7 witnesses listed on the indictment. After consulting with Gibson, lead defense lawyer Damian Gomez, KC, asked those witnesses be made available from the defense. Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson will hear legal arguments in the juror's absence, and the 8-member panel is tentatively expected to return in August. Gibson is on trial along with former Water and Sewage General Manager Elwood Donaldson Jr., his barber and friend Jerome Mizik, and his former campaign manager Joanne Knowles and Peaches Farquharson. The trial has not been heard continuously since the beginning of November 2023. The defense has launched multiple challenges that were dismissed by the Court of Appeal. Gomez, Moreno Dulce, KC, Brian Bastian, and Ryan Eve represented Gibson. Mizik and Knowles, Ian Cargill represented Donaldson, and Raphael Moxie represented Farquharson. Karen McVeigh appears along with the DPP. This is a long, drawn-out thing, man. This is a long, drawn-out thing. It's a long, drawn-out thing. And every time we say something about it over the past few years in media, he would go to the judge and say, media is seeking to be able to prejudice my position. And if the jurors are listening to this, they would presume that I'm guilty if they listen to it in such a manner. So we want to be able to do this. And everyone understood what their responsibility in their position was. So I have decided to be able to not speak about this until we found ourselves to a conclusive position, and then we could be able to kind of stretch it far and wide. But I didn't want to be one to be able to contribute to it, because he's always been able to say that if we do so, that we're going to cost this and that, as it relates to his case. Government press on Gardner's legal fees. I don't want to talk about that. Halkidas indicates $140,000 for the Freedom of Information Act is enough, right? We could be able to talk about that. Cable Bahamas extends shares buyback for another year. This is information's in the papers today. I guess we can be able to dive into that and dive into it deeply. Talk about those things. Taxpayers to fund $1 billion in civil services. Bahamian faces record public works wage bill for upcoming year. Let's be able to talk about that. Royal Bahamas Defense Force discharges Marine accused of a cocaine ring. Oh my God, you lose your job. Wow. Florida operated defends Bahamas jet ski industry. This is the position that they've taken on these things. Royal Bahamas Defense Force discharges Marine accused in cocaine ring, and the Royal Bahamas Police Defense Force Marine accused and 2 police officers in an alleged 400-kilo cocaine trafficking conspiracy is being discharged from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. The agency said yesterday. The RBDF said the Marine Raymond Russell, who was arrested and charged before the courts in June 17th, had previously requested to leave the force and was on leave exhausting his outstanding leave. Wow. He later applied to rescind his discharge request, but the Royal Bahamas Defense Force said that it has initiated the process for his discharge. I want to talk about these things, and I don't want you to, in my desire to talk with transparency about these things, it's not going to be an easy thing. It's not going to be this kind of a casual conversation that you think that you could just be able to say these things. There is a root that exists in this space. There is a root that exists in this space. And the root, for the most part, that exists in this particular space is criminality. This idea, we have slowly but surely eroded the moral fabric of our society. We have slowly but surely taken on this kind of a position and eroded the moral of our society, the fabric of who we stand for and what we stand for in our society. People don't see nothing wrong with corruption. In fact, they make modifications to the idea of what corruption is. They say to you, there's nothing wrong with taking a couple dollars for this particular thing. They call it lunch money. Your lunch money. They call it lunch money. Corruption has always existed in our society. From way back in the day with police officers in 8 Mile Rock who set up roadblocks in strategic areas and say to you that, hey, listen, if you want to get past this roadblock, you're going to have to give me something, because once I start writing, that's it. I have to finish this particular thing. This is the level of corruption that exists in this country. Everybody is looking for an additional something to add on to whatever they're doing. This is the position that the country is in. The reason I could stand strong and be able to say to you that I believe that a corrupt person should go to jail, I believe if you're doing something untoward, you should go to jail, is because I've had more than one chance, more than enough opportunities to be able to do exactly what these people do. And I didn't take it. There are so many men and women in this society who have climbed from their bootstraps, who've pulled up their bootstraps, who've put it on, who have worked diligently, who's been continuous, who understand the trials, the tribulation, who is broken, who cry every night, who believe every day, who went to work with nothing, who didn't eat, who children didn't eat, who endured rowing from their wives because you're taking all the money and putting it into this dream. There are so many people in this country who would have gone through that. Some people would have lost love. They would have lost what they thought they had to kind of secure for these particular things. They lost those things trying to be able to pursue that, and they still ain't never looked for coke. They still ain't never tried to get themselves in the position of selling coke. They still ain't never thought about, is this pants the appropriate pants to wear when you're selling your body? They never thought about that. They never thought about this sort of an idea of being able to tax someone for pleasure. They never thought about this sort of an idea there. But there's another part of this country that think about whether it's rum running, whether or not that's bootlegging, whether or not that's playing numbers and selling numbers. The kind of an underground industry that existed in that before it was formalized. There are men and women who think about, how do I infiltrate these dark areas of society? To every single one of those men and women who decide that this is the path that you would choose, if you will find yourself cornered by the law, I believe that you should serve your time. I know how the society is set up. I know how the society is set up. And there's sort of a way, an idea that says, hey, listen, if I got money, I could pay for myself to be free. We got to fix this, guys. We got to fix this. I bust my behind. My partner busts his behind. We never thought that in June we would be on the air. In June. We never thought that June would be the time that we would be. We was finished from December and ready for January launch. We had to wait for money. We had to put money aside. We had to hold out. We had to do this. We had to keep pouring into it. We had to wait for money. We had to wait to do the thing the right way. And these criminals with a job by the government decide that that ain't enough. It's a poor thinking. And so we are assured that the poor will always be among us, with us. But you don't have to be that poor person. You don't have to be that person. You can do better. You can be better. You can do better. You can be better. You can do better. You're called to move higher, and you're called for more. I hope you understand that, and I hope you could be able to appreciate that. Guys, I hope you have a beautiful weekend this weekend with your Father's Day. I really do. Go to the reef. And if you go to the reef, go to across the. You know who's have a good breakfast also? British Colonial. My wife took me there one Saturday. Maybe we do it tomorrow morning. My wife took me there one Saturday. British Colonial. Excellent. Excellent. I'm telling you, I enjoyed it. And so when we look at those particular things, I got to be able to say this to you. Enjoy your weekend, man. Do so with your families. Take your time with your families. Enjoy your families. Try to see if you can be able to initiate that conversation about being able to shift your position in your family. But before you initiate that conversation, make sure that you have a path. Write it down. Get your Habakkuk 2:2. In 5 years, I want to be here. In 10 years, I want to be here. This is what we want to be able to do. You don't have to have every single detail laid out. You just have to know where you want to be. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Present that to your wife. And I say wife because I can't have a conversation with you if you're married. If you're married, then you don't need to stay with this woman if she's rowing. I'm not going to fight you. But if you intend to get married, you want to be able to ensure that there is a proper environment. I asked the fella the other day. He keep telling me he had girlfriend and sis and that and all these things like that. I asked him, do you intend to get married? He said, I don't think so. I said, well, Jesus, why are you wasting time with this woman? Why are you wasting time with this woman? She could find Prince Charming and find a husband. You wasting time with this woman. You ain't think you can marry her? He said, I didn't decide yet. I said, well, you got to be kidding with me. What y'all just getting a relationship for? Just to get a little slice? The devil is a liar. Let's just be very clear about that. I know children in the car, it's summertime, forgive me. But let's talk about these things with clarity. Let's talk about these things with clarity. Guys, I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to tune in to us here at Foundation Radio 89.5 FM. If you have, you want to be able to talk about whether that's clothing, whether that's electronics, whether that's cars, whatever it is, if you want to be able to talk to us and get persons to be able to come out to your space and do those things, I would love you to give me a call. The numbers you can call, again, like I said, 827-0111, 827-0111, and we'd be more than happy to assist you in being able to get out your dreams and make those things happen. I want to thank you guys so very kindly. That does it for the Foundation this week. We'll be back next week, Monday. God spare our lives right here on Foundation Radio 89.5 FM. Or you can definitely check us out on Facebook and YouTube at Foundation 242 across all social media platforms. We are grateful that you're here with us, and we look forward to having you and hosting you yet again. All right, guys, have a beautiful weekend. Be safe. Make sure that these women don't throw her old necktie, socks, and used cologne on you. Tell them you want a level of decency. Your foot need to get done. Your hair need to get done. You need a haircut. You may need a colonic. All these things, ain't nothing wrong with that. You want to feel good. You want to feel clean. And then after you get the massage, then you get the second massage. Amen. Praise God. I can't get an amen. Guys, enjoy your weekend. Have a beautiful weekend. I guess I'm going to see you guys in church on Sunday. And then we can be able to talk about that. See you guys on Monday right here in the Foundation 89.5 FM. Have a great day.
First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God. I thank God. First and foremost,